One thing that's been really annoying me lately is when VPN providers change the name of WireGuard. Why is this happening? What am I talking about? Let's find out. For those of you who don't know, WireGuard is an open source protocol developed by developers. WireGuard is sort of like a new, faster wheel. If you got a bicycle, you put this new wheel on it, it would still be the same bike, but it just goes faster and is more adept at doing certain things. That's my best analogy for WireGuard. For VPN, it's going to give you faster speeds, slower battery drain. It's also more lightweight and easily adaptable than older protocols like OpenVPN that have been around for some time. So that's kind of the basis of WireGuard and what it is. Essentially, how you use it is that you find a VPN that supports it, and then you just pick it as a tunnel type. You'll notice that you connect faster, get better speeds, and overall just have a better experience than some older protocols like OpenVPN, even stuff like IKEv2 and some of the older ones out there. It's now my favorite protocol to date. So if you guys aren't aware, some VPN providers like NordVPN have for some reason decided to change the name from WireGuard inside their application to something like NordLynx. So NordLynx is NordVPN's name for the implementation of the WireGuard VPN protocol. They just for some reason decided to rename it. Now, why do I find this problematic? Well, I find it problematic for a couple of reasons. One of the biggest problems I think with doing this is that essentially what VPNs are doing that are renaming WireGuard into their own kind of specially branded or marketed term is that they're pretty much using open source software that real developers are working on and marketing it under their own brand name for profit, essentially, to draw in more customers. I also think another problem is that a lot of VPNs renaming WireGuard and making it seem special or unique or proprietary where it isn't. Pretty much everyone's implementation of WireGuard can be pretty much the same, I do think. It just kind of depends on how many users are on the servers, how many servers the VPN provider is using. Who's to say if VPN providers start just overloading their servers because they think WireGuard is just going to give everyone fast speeds? It's not the case. WireGuard speeds will go down if the servers are overloaded. I don't think we should change the names of open source protocols because it not only confuses the customers using it, but it also gives a false sense of importance to the specific VPN doing so. NordVPN, I think, has tried making their WireGuard implementation seem special to consumers in some way. Them trying to make themselves seem unique also in that they might have something no other VPN has. However, other VPN providers, while they might not have NordLynx, they pretty much have the same exact thing and they just call it WireGuard. I don't think there's any necessary need to rename it. Not only that, but some other VPN providers, like stuff like ExpressVPN, have created new protocols called Lightway. Now, it's not entirely certain if ExpressVPN is replacing WireGuard with this new Lightway protocol, and it's kind of hard to understand the reasoning behind adding a new protocol like this, especially in my speed test when I've tested it, and it's significantly less fast than WireGuard. According to ExpressVPN on their WireGuard update blog around a year ago, they said they were interested in developing and updating WireGuard for their users, but it will take some time. But I'm still not really sure what Lightway is, and that's part of the problem that I think that is kind of the focus of this video. Renaming protocols that are open source and trying to make your product seem unique is confusing for a consumer. A consumer might specifically purchase your product because it has a fancy new NordLynx protocol, when in fact it's just WireGuard. Not to say that WireGuard isn't important or anything, because I think it is the best new protocol, but I don't think that VPNs should be making themselves stand out and advertising themselves in a way that makes them seem unique when they're just using open source protocols. What do you guys think? Do you think that VPNs should be renaming protocols left and right to try to draw in more customers to make themselves seem more unique, when in fact they're just kind of reappropriating or using open source protocols like WireGuard itself? I don't really think they should. Every VPN that uses WireGuard should just call it exactly that. NordVPN should just call it NordVPN WireGuard. TorGuard calls it TorGuard WireGuard. Windscribe, some others that are developing it as well, they're not really making new fancy names for it as far as I know, and I think that is the right way to do it. Not only that, other VPN providers like Movet also just call it WireGuard, and yeah, that's my opinion. VPNs should not rename protocols. They shouldn't rename protocols that make themselves seem unique and special or more advertisable to new consumers, because I think it's just misleading. Anyways, guys, so that's my thoughts on this one. Hopefully we don't see any more VPNs do this in the future, but I think you should just kind of keep a lookout for it because it is something that has been bothering me lately.